everyone, and welcome back to more political chatter. In this video, we will be talking about the chance of a contested convention come 2024. The Republican National Convention, I feel, in 2024, if the primary matchup does become mainly between Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump, which is a big possibility right now. If that actually happens, I really think that we would be heading into a contested convention in 2024. Now, what does that mean? This is my prediction from my primary election night between DeSantis, Trump, and Larry Hogan, among others like Nikki Haley, Mike Pompeo. And this was my final delegate tally that I got. 1024 for Donald Trump, 994 for Ron DeSantis, 231 for Larry Hogan, and for others, a total of 200. Now, you need 1,276 delegates to win the nomination. That's half, plus one. So, as you can see, no candidate won that. No candidate reached 1276. And if this is the matchup and we have some minor candidates like Larry Hogan, and of course Nikki Haley is going to run, she's already a minor candidate who will win a few delegates. If that's the case, no candidate, not Trump or DeSantis, will win the mandatory 1276 to win. So what happens then? We go into the convention and we don't have a winner yet. So then that first ballot happens, no winner, all bets are off. Candidates make deals with state delegations. It's absolute chaos, and it's every man for themselves at that point. It's a matter of endorsements, of the minor candidates throwing their delegates to other people, and it just becomes absolute chaos. And I don't believe that the chance of a contested convention in 2024 for the Republicans is talked about enough. No one is talking about this, as you can see. 1234, sorry, I was slightly off. That is 1276. 1234 needed to win. And that right now is a gigantic possibility if we're looking at the candidates. Donald Trump is in the race. Of course, he will be a major candidate. Nikki Haley is going to be one of these minor candidates who will win a few delegates and therefore cause nobody to win the majority. John Bolton will be another one of those minor candidates. Ron DeSantis will be the other major candidate. It will be a competition between he and Trump if he does get in the race. And then Larry Elder, Asa Hutchinson, Mike Pompeo, all people that could be minor candidates that really take away from Trump and DeSantis, Larry Hogan. So the point is that the convention could be very, very crazy in 2024 and absolutely chaotic. Because if this happens, it means a divided convention. Like, we are not going to get a winner on the first ballot if this happens, because on the first ballot, all the delegates have to vote for who they were assigned to. And in this scenario, it would be extremely difficult for one of them to win on even the second ballot. It would take quite a few ballots to get someone elected and nominated. And just to add in, a contested convention would really help Ron DeSantis, right? Because, he's the one who all of these Hogan delegates, all of these Haley delegates, all of these Cheney delegates, all of these Bolton delegates are going to switch to. He will be a much more acceptable nominee than Donald Trump will. And, of course, the year is 2024. I wanted to bring this up. And I find it funny because 2024, there was the infamous 1924 Democratic National Convention. So it could be a 100-year difference, to the year. Could be the anniversary of the infamous 1924 DNC, which was the most contested convention ever. If you don't know, these were all the candidates at the convention. William Gibbs McAdoo and Al Smith were the two front runners. And, there were other major candidates. John Cox was in it. Oscar Underwood was in it. I wrote an essay about this. And here is the balloting. And I will get to this, but we will see how such an underdog candidate won and what this means for 1924. So this is the first ballot. McAdoo won 39% of the delegates. Al Smith won 22%. And then we have the more minor candidates. And look at this. Because so many of these minor candidates in the race who only win 5% or less, James Cox, Pat Harrison, Oscar Underwood, all of these names, John W. Davis, it causes neither McAdoo or Smith to get over 50% and win the nomination. I will mind you in case someone wants to be rude in the comments and say, in 1924 you needed 2/3 of the vote to win. I know that. We're talking about 2024 though, so I'm going to act like you only needed 50%, 51% in 1924. But look at all these candidates. McAdoo, Smith, so many, but only McAdoo and Smith were up there. But because of these minor candidates, neither of them was able to win a majority. Neither of them could win. So what happens? They keep voting. 15th ballot, people. McAdoo still leads. Not much progress. He was at 431.5, and on the 15th, he's at 479. Barely gains anything, but he is a bit closer to the majority, about 4% closer to the majority. And then there's Smith. And then what do we see here? John W. Davis climbs a little bit. He has 61 delegates. But I won't, of course, do every ballot. But basically, what happened at the 1924 DNC is this. They kept voting. This is the 42nd ballot right here. The 42nd ballot. McAdoo was at 45, almost a majority. Smith was at 28. Davis was at 6. They were still barely even getting anywhere, though, because you needed 2/3 of the vote. And then what happens? We go down 87th ballot. They voted 87 times. They voted 2 times? 103rd ballot. They voted 103 times. And here is what I was getting to. That entire time, John W. Davis won the nomination. Okay? John W. Davis. Look at this column right here. John W. Davis, after shifts, 103rd. John W. Davis won with 844 delegates. Oscar Underwood was in second. And at the end of the day, Smith and McAdoo were practically out of the race. So, what does this mean for 2024? A compromise candidate was nominated. John W. Davis went into the convention with 31 delegates, 2.8%. He was a congressman from West Virginia. He just had 31. He was a favorite son from West Virginia. He just had some delegates from his home state. He was barely even in the race. He wasn't really a candidate. He didn't really want the nomination all that bad. But it went on between two major candidates, McAdoo and Smith, with a bunch of minor candidates, a.k.a. Larry Hogan, Nikki Haley, Mike Pompeo, Liz Cheney, John Bolton, whoever it may be, and of course the two major candidates, a.k.a. Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump, and they kept voting. No one withdrew, and what ended up happening? A compromise candidate was nominated, John W. Davis of West Virginia. Who could that compromise candidate be in 2024? I don't know. Maybe someone like Nikki Haley could be it. Maybe someone like Kristi Noem, who is likely not even going to run. Maybe not a candidate at all, like Kristi Noem, the governor of South Carolina, or of South Dakota, sorry. Maybe Tim Scott of South Carolina. Who knows? But the point is that exactly 100 years ago, on the Democratic side, we had a similar situation. So if we go through the 2024 Republican primaries like this, and no candidate reaches 1234, then we don't have a winner. And the convention will be contested in 2024. It will be a contested convention, as they call it, and a compromise candidate might be in the run. So, thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That would mean a great deal to me. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching.